Okay, Khan, Shalom Akim, Kahalayim Na, Yahab Bashim Yahshab Bashim Rakakodash, and double on the screams from the apostles, Thadi Yahshab for the strength, in order to make this video as well. And Shalom once more, it's the brother Ratazar Racha Halawaya. And of course, this video really is based upon the fact that Esau's kingdom, the so-called white man, we say so-called because that's the label of which he's put upon himself. Which, there's also psychology of it as well, where, white represents purity, innocence. So when people say white man, those are the type of thoughts that Esau wants to be associated with. And then, when you look at Jacob as well, there's a psychology of being called the so-called black man. Again, so-called is really a reference to the label of which we've been given, which is all by the ordaining of the Most High. Scriptures talk about the curses being that will be called a byword, and that's part of it as well, not just the N word as well, but being called black people, even though we're not black. One could say the hair's black, but our skins are just different shades of flipping brown. That's what it is. So yeah, Esau's kingdom is not our rest, of course, because of the fact that he's in rulership. Yahweh Hashem Yeshua set him in rulership. Really, he's the one who inherits the fatness of the earth right now, and he is utilizing it, man. Extracting the resources and doing what he wants with it for his, because of he's still in the season, but the latter end of that season is pretty much now, anyways. Because first of all, the MOTB, mark of the beast, is already there and existing, and then the thing is, the technology is already there, the chip's already been invented, but it's a matter of then, I guess, either grooming or gradually introducing it to the people, man. Because of course they can't just be like, all right, cool, cut off everything, everyone take the chip. No, they can't just do that. They gotta do it gradually. Kind of like with 2020, they were like, all right, let's put some fear into them, with the news, using the news outlets, like this is it, this is it, this is it. Soon enough, you're going to start hearing on the news, all right, this is the technology of which stores are going to start implementing. Like Sainsbury's, you're going to see the technology of really in different aspects of our lives being used, really being shifted towards that MOTB to the point where you can't buy or sell. Revelation 13, 16 to 18, that's the key point right there, based on the mark of the beast. So really, Esau's going to have that warm-up, that gradualism, kind of like 2020 with the CV, CV19 as they called it. Don't want to say the full name anyways, but the point is that was a warm-up. He started with the news to get into people's heads, because many people do watch the news. Many people, especially those of old age, they do watch the news. And they're on YouTube anyways, BBC News, Sky News, CNN, all these news outlets. So fear tactic was the first thing. Eventually they introduced testing. And after testing as well, they continued with the fear tactic. Then they went on to the juice. And it's like, all right, schools implemented it. Workplaces implemented it. And obviously in communities, they implemented it as well. Even in the flipping, probably in certain churches, they probably would have implemented it as well, man. Pastors would have been deceiving. The blind lead the blind type of mentality. That's the point. But let me read this first before I start talking on about the other stuff. So Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction. If you really think about it, we all know that Esau's ultimate aim is to put a chip in the body. Whether it's in the brain, which as the scriptures refer to as the forehead, or because Elon Musk and his Neuralink chip. Again, if you go into, because of there was a video Apostle Tahar made as well, I think either last week or about 2 weeks ago, about the gematria. I think it's gematria, which is like some kind of a numerology calculator where if you type a word, there's also a number of which is calculated that's assigned to that word as well. Like a number significant, or a number signifier, yeah. And it was 666. That's what it was. That's what it was. When you typed in Neuralink, and then you converted it to like the Greek letters, it was pretty much 666, which is Revelation 16. Let me get down quickly as well. But even just by looking at Esau's agenda of depopulation and, Agenda 2030 with his goals of really just diminishing the planet and diminishing the people, not just Israel, but of course Israel is his main focus, but not just Israel. Heathens also going to get caught up as well, just as well as in Jacob's trouble. So with those goals, Esau, man, that's why it says in Micah 2:10, will be destroyed with sword destruction. If the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua, if Yahweh Shem Yahushua was to allow Esau to extend his time period, man, there'll be no soul to save. Anyways, where's Revelation 13? So this is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And that was the number which came up in the gematria calculator, which was 666. It says it's 666. Those are the same thing. That's what came up when Apostle Tahar typed up Neuralink, and you could do it yourself, man. On the computer, go into type like gematria calculator, and type it up. Then you're gonna see. Well, yeah, that's Revelation 13 and 16 right there. So going to the point of that MOTB being in the forehead and in the arm, whether left or right. The point is people are going to use it in order to pay for things, man. Same way people, bring out their card to pay for things. It's the same way Esau's then going to introduce, people just regularly, flipping using the chip in order to pay for things. Because in that society, in that time to come, it's going to be like, all right, few people be getting it, then more and then more and then more. But of course, he said he causeth all, so people aren't going to be able to survive. So there's going to be a sense of urgency, kind of like where you see people lining up for the latest iPhone. It would be like that, but even more so, because it's going to require, because Esau's going to leverage off of the necessities of life, food, shelter, paying bills, all of those. He will leverage off of it. So yeah, Micah 2 and 10, that's what I read there. Let's see, there's another one. Hebrews 13:10 is what I was looking for. So this is Hebrews 13. Oh, it's not even 10 actually. It's actually verse 14. So Hebrews 13 and 10. So Hebrews 13 and 14. For here have we no continuing city, but we seek one to come. So that's really the main point right there, Hebrews 13 and 14. Because the city that's here is obviously referring to Esau's kingdom. And they say we seek one to come is really when Israel's going to be risen under Yahweh Shem Yahushua, of which we pray for salvation to. And through that, you're going to have the elect, the governing body. And of course, after that, then the rest of Israel then gradually come through the loins of the elect. And then that's how Israel's just going to be built and then become a innumerable nation. One man shall become a nation. Remember that precept? But the point is that we let me read it. Hebrews 13 and 14. For here have we no continuing city. In Esau's kingdom, we ain't got a continuing city. We don't desire to be here. But we seek one to come. Yahushua's kingdom, because that's actually where we're going to be able to rest, man. In fact, before I even get like the etymology of rest, let me see. Because obviously I'm just going to get to the point of this video. So that was there. So I get Deuteronomy 28. And also another proof that this really isn't our rest is the curses of which we've got to go through too. The lowly state of which we're in. Some way, somehow, man, we're quite lowly, whether it be mentally or financially or physically. You got ailment, some illness you got to deal with, a thorn. It may even be a woman as well. That could be something too, because, curses mentioned that as well. Even in the workplace, or just getting by day to day, man. It's just, having to deal with spirits. Spirits always try to weaken you. All of those are all a contribution to, are really part of the curses, though. That's what I'm trying to say. And they're a contribution of really evidence that this is not our rest. That's what I was trying to get to. So that's Micah 2 and 10. Yeah. Micah 2 and 10. Right, let me get Deuteronomy 28. Hold on, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 28, verse 20. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 20. The Lord Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto, for to do until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. The Lord Yahweh shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land which thou goest to possess it. And Yahweh shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. So really, that's just like a brief point on the curses of which you've got to do. It says in verse 20, the cursing, vexation, and rebuke, man. Just how to deal with society and, certain things of which you just got to deal with. Let me actually see if I can get into the root words there of cursing, vexation, and rebuke. And the rebuke goes into correction as well. Rebuke goes into correction. Let me just get the scripture here in the blue letter. Alright, so let's get cursing first. This is the word. It says, let me actually just listen to it. Hold on.
Strong's H3994. Me'era. Me'era.
Yeah, so that's the word me'era. And me'era means, let's look at it. It says, well, it simply says curse. It says an excretion, which really is just going into curse something bad, which has been ordained by Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Let's get into vexation. Really, again, well, you're just angry about something.
Strong's H4103. Mehumah. Mehumah.
So that's the root word there, and that means tumult. So this is for vexation. Tumult, confusion, disquietude, discomfiture, destruction, trouble, vexation, tumult, confusion, disturbance, turmoil. Pretty much that shows you right there, confusion, man. For instance, you may be in a workplace and a certain Edomite of whom is working gets rewarded despite their laziness being there, or really despite putting a less amount of work. And then you're thinking in your mind, after laboring so hard, you haven't really been rewarded as well as the Edomite of whom was doing a lazy job. That's part of the confusion right there. part of the vexation. So things like that as well is part of the curses. The vexation of, certain living situations, the vexation of dealing with certain people, vexation from women as well, vexation from really, as we live this life, the vexation is a curse in itself, man. So that's why I got to pray to Yahweh Shemashah to keep our spirit stable in these times as well. And yeah, so that's vexation. Let me hear rebuke. The root word here in Deuteronomy 28 and 20.
Strong's H 4045. Megereth. Megereth.
So megereth means rebuke, reproof, which really just goes into correction. Let me just search the definition quickly of rebuke. It really should just mean correction. So definition of rebuke. Rebuke. So it says, say definition of rebuke: express sharp disapproval or criticism of someone because of their behavior or action. So it just means sharp disapproval or criticism. When you're in disagreement with something, that's pretty much what rebuke is. And of course, from disagreement as well comes correction after too. So that's what rebuke means. So it says in Deuteronomy 20 and 30, and Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. So because of the fact that Israel as a nation has left Yahweh Shem Yashai, that's why we're in this position having to suffer through these curses. That's why we have to get that sharp disapproval and criticism, for our behavior as well, because we've left Yahweh Shem Yashai. That's why we don't always, as a nation, of course, don't always move in the wisdom which we did formerly. Even formerly as well, we're still in the lower state anyways, but, kingdom come, that's when true perfection will be, for the nation of Israel. So yeah, that's Deuteronomy 28. Let's see, I think 22. 22 also says, and Yahweh shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with extreme burning, and with the sword, and the blood, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. So, with the inflammation, of course, with inflammation comes sickness as well. It says fever, it says with consumption, it says the sword. We all know that, of course, if Jake ain't calm when Esau comes in, let's say Jake did something and then, Esau comes in to try and handle some business. If Jake isn't calm, then they'll be arrested, and it's easy for Jake to be arrested and go into prison. That's the point. That's why I said I'm with the sword, man. The consumption of the sword, or rather, Yahweh. It says Yahweh shall smite thee, and going up to the point, it says, and with the sword. So of course Esau's the one who wields the sword. He's the one who has he can take up the advantage of having the sword. He's the master of it. That's the thing. That's his blessing. Modern day sword being the gun. So yeah, that's why Jake won't be left, right, center, man, done. And when I say left, right, center, done, it means that when you're going out, of course, there's a There's like a preconception of Jake, man. And the thing, especially when typically, with the clothing that Jake wear, either all black or tracksuits and whatnot, and these are typically the clothes of which are associated with gangs as well. So that's all getting into Esau's perception. Then it's like that's a curse in itself, man. It's like Jake's asking for it as well. So I gotta move with wisdom when we enter this truth as well, man. Anyways, but of course it's all direct Yahweh Shem Yashai. As we're blessed with Harakha Kodash, Yahweh Shem Yashai intervenes and he protects us nevertheless of police coming by or somewhat, man. The scriptures say, agree with thine enemy quickly, Matthew 5 and 25. So that's part of the wisdom of which we have when Esau comes by. Like, just be at peace with him, you know. If a man, I feel roughly paraphrasing, if a man be at either has faith in Yahweh Shem Yashai, you know, he'll be at peace with his enemies. You know, I'm a gay. I'm actually trying to find it. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna close this one out, and then Yara Tazama do a part 2 as well. So yeah, Shalom, Kahalan Imra, Yahweh Shem Yashai Bashem Kakudash, double on the scripts and apostles, and Thaudia for the strength in order to make this video. And Yara Tazama, I'm gonna upload the part 2 as well eventually, but soon after. But yeah, Shalom. It's been a brother Ratazara Kha Khalawaya.